Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's me, Nelson Ashton, the DPOY. Here again with my boy, the BeBall Jones. What's going on, B?
What's up, man? I'm good over here. How you doing?
I'm all good, man. Ready to be in the cool seat instead of the hot seat. That's all. Y'all probably saw the last video, the last episode we dropped. Was another one of those "Don't Kill Me" butts, where we give one of our little hot topics, or our opinions that might not be the the most favored opinion in the world, but we put it out there for y'all, and we let y'all decide who y'all think is right. So last episode, hopefully y'all checked it out. If you haven't, go check that out real quick. Was me telling y'all about how I feel like Kevin Durant ruined basketball instead of Steph Curry. So if y'all haven't seen that, be sure to go check that out. But that ain't what we're here for. Not here, at least in this video. So in this one, it's my turn to be over here chilling. It's B turn to be on the hot seat. So B, go and give us your "Don't Kill Me" but man. Go and let the people know what you really think.
All right, man. So this is going to upset a lot of TV people, media personalities, basketball heads. If you're listening to this, yes, that's in quotation marks, a lot of basketball heads. But I gotta disagree with this little terminology people are throwing out there, trying to seem like it's so smart and such a great idea. I really wish people stop saying where its position is basketball. Like, don't kill me, bro, but basketball is not positionless. We're not there. Not yet, at least. We're not seeing positionless basketball. That doesn't exist. So if you look at the origin of basketball, positions are defined with certain roles and certain ideas and concepts of what the roles have. So when you think of a point guard, the point guard brings the ball to the floor, facilitates, sets up the offense, get everybody involved. Traditional mindset of what a point guard is. Shooting guard says in the name, he shoots. So it's like each role, each position has a certain role tied to it, right? So um, today's game, what we're talking about as positionless basketball is what you're saying is there's no such thing as positions. There's no such things as a point guard anymore because point guards are shooting more, and you're seeing Joker be a 7-foot point guard now. So you can't really fit these players in a role in these titles anymore. So we're just playing positionless basketball. And I completely disagree with that. When you really break down what people are doing, what you're doing is seeing a lot of gray area. You're seeing a lot of overlapping. And so, in my mind, instead of saying positionless basketball, we either go one or two directions. So you go from the five positions: point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center, and either condense that, which we're kind of already pushing to when you look at the all NBA selections. It's either guards, wings, or bigs. And they kind of finna get rid of bigs, where it's just the best five out there, which is more positionless basketball, which doesn't exist. So in my mind, you either condense it down to either guards, wings, bigs, or you expand it out to have more titles and roles. That can get kind of mucky of, who to call what and what is this and what is that. It's a little too much, probably too detailed. I don't know. That's not my job. I just want to sit here and say positionless basketball is not real. And now my biggest reasoning for this is because when I think when people are mainly talking about it, you're thinking about it as bigs coming down and playing guard roles. So like you talked about last episode, how KD is a 7-foot guard. And you think about all the bigs in the game now. Joker is basically a 7-foot point guard. Joel Embiid has, a lot of more fluid movements. He basically dominating from the 3-point line all the way to the rim. You're looking at Anthony Davis at 6'10", 6'11", big man, handling the ball more. We talked about before JaVale McGee trying to bring the ball to the floor, being a point guard. And it's like, all right, cool. You look at the wings of a Draymond Green being a point forward, the Ben Simmons, the LeBron James, Luka being their height, but actually being more of a point guard. Cool. That's blending lines, blurred lines, whatever. You cannot play positionless basketball because when's the last time we've seen Steph Curry post up like Shaq? Trey
Never.
Trey Young hit a drop step and dunk on somebody. Dame Lillard coming down the court with the mid range post up. Ja Morant come down and do any post move. I'm waiting. Like I'm still trying to see the positionless part of it. And I get it. You know, you have bigger guards and it's coming through, but you're still gonna have the smaller guards. Yes, point guards posted. They've been posting up since forever. That's not changing. But we're not playing positionless basketball. Basketball still has boundaries. Basketball still has lines, which more players fit into. Now you may have a big guard with, I mean, a big man with more skills, but we're not positionless. He just added more to what his role is. Steven Adams is still a center. Like Andre Drummond is still a center. Dwight Howard, center. Joel Embiid still a center. We're still calling him a center. We're not going to sit down and be like, man, maybe Joel Embiid is a two guard. Like, no, he's a center. He just has more skills to him. So just because a big has more skills does not mean they're not a big. That kind of bothers me something. Like we just kind of get too caught up in certain words and try to, you know, brand certain things, and it's easy to market certain stuff, and it's like, let's stop saying that, because the game's not positionless. We still have positions, we still have roles, we still have duties to fulfill within this role of basketball. And just because some guards have more big man abilities, or certain bigs have more guards abilities, does not mean we just completely wipe out positions of the game. That's not true. So don't kill me, bro. I know y'all love to throw this little word around and make it seem like we got a whole new sport out here, and that's not true. We're not playing positionless basketball. Let's just stop calling it that. Be more creative and call it something else, because it's not positionless. We still have positions. So that's my little hot take, man. I don't know how the fans might not think about it as much, but I know them basketball heads and the people on TV ain't gonna like that one, man. So what do you think, man? Do you think the game still has positions and we still in that lane, or we, blowing all that up?
Um, I can't lie. I'd have to agree with you because I still think there's positions in basketball. Like everybody has a position. I think it's the roles we give out are different now. Like we
Mm-hmm.
give out roles based on skill sets. So what I mean when I say that is like Joker is basically a 7 foot point guard, like people be saying, whatever. But never have you seen him go out there and there wasn't a guy that really played point guard out there. He's never just been out there with a bunch of guys that was just like whatever. Like whatever
Yeah.
they play, they play. There's always a point guard out there. Like he might have the ball in his hands, but there's a point guard out there. Same thing with like Joel Embiid. Like they don't send Joel out there without a James Harden or uh without Ben Simmons when he was there. You know what I'm saying? They don't send him out there without a point guard. Seth Curry when he was there. He
Tyrese
might have the
Maxey.
ball in his Tyrese Maxey, he might have the ball in his hand, but there's a guard out there. And so same thing with big guards. Ben Simmons might be out there, but he still have a big in there. Uh who else? LeBron might be at point guard, but Anthony Davis still gonna be in that post. Dwight Howard still gonna be down there. But he ain't with the Lakers no more. But you know what I'm saying? Luka might be at point guard, but it's still a big out there. You know what I'm saying? So that lets us
Mm-hmm.
know that the positions are real and still have purpose. You know, it's just roles. That's all it is. It's like we
Yep.
playing to your skill set because you're good enough at it for us to do that. So like Jokic can pass. It's like, all right, we're gonna give you the ball in these spots, and you make a good decision with the ball. We're gonna run plays or whatever around you, and you make a decision with the ball. That don't make him the point guard. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That just makes him a big that can pass. He has great
Yep.
passing vision and IQ, which is cool. Same thing with like a big guard, Ben Simmons. You might can post up a smaller guard, but that don't make you the five. If they put somebody your size on you, you better step out here on this perimeter and run the offense. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I gotta agree with you with that one, man. There's definitely no such thing as position in basketball. I think that's where the game is heading towards, or that's what we like to think. But at the end of the day, I don't think
Mm-hmm.
there'll ever really be positionless basketball because somebody got to get down there and get that rebound. You know what I'm saying? And like, God forbid another Shaquille O'Neal is born somewhere right now in a manger somewhere. God forbid that happens. Cause if it does, if another Shaq just walk into the world and decides to play basketball, he gonna average 50. Cause
Yep.
ain't nobody gonna be there to stop him. We're gonna be dependent on Chet Holmgrens to stop Shaquille O'Neal Jr. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So I like as much as we like to throw that word around, like you said, nah, it's got to be positions. Somebody got to be big and play defense and rebound. Somebody got to run my offense. Somebody got to be able to shoot. Somebody got to be able to score. It's just we give the roles to different guys now, but we still need those positions.
Yeah. And I think that we try to get too cute with it sometimes. And like you said, some things have to be labeled so it's like easier to consume. And I think like Draymond Green, like it's a lot of tweeners. Like I remember when Draymond Green first came in the league, to be a tweener was a curse mark, bro. Like you did not want to be called a tweener. That was the worst thing in basketball around that time. Oh, is he a three? Is he a four? He's only like 6'6", 6'7". We can't really play him at the four, but he's too slow and not athletic enough to be
Yeah.
a three. So yeah, that was a curse mark to have. So, but now you can't find another Draymond. Like you trying to find one. Like, I think Draymond is the piece that make the Warriors so unique that you can't replicate what they're doing. I can find two great shooters. That's not the hardest thing in the world to do. You can find two great shooters. To find somebody that selfless who can do a little bit of everything like a Draymond, it's hard to do. And so Draymond's part of that role too of the game being quote unquote positionless because he's a 6'6", 6'7" wing or big, whatever you want to call him, but he's not the quote unquote point guard. It's still Steph. Steph still operates as the one. Draymond just facilitates a little bit more. That's where the offense is set up. But I think we're trying to apply like spread out everything to outlier players. Like Draymond cannot be replicated and repeated. We're trying to do that with Grant Williams. We're trying to do that with this player. We're trying to do that with Ben Simmons. But you can't replicate these outlier players and apply that to everybody now. Like we talked about yours. So KD is a positionless player. You can't really call him a anything because he's a 7-foot guard. Like, what are we doing here, bro? Like he can defend 1 through 5. He can play 1 through 5. Who else can do that? Yeah, that list is real slim. And so we're trying to like give outlier titles to the rest of the game, and that's not what it is. Like you said, like I said earlier, it's not positions right now. We might get to a point where it is a little bit more positionless. Where you see a lineup of a Brandon Ingram, Kevin Durant, Giannis, Draymond Green, LeBron James, and like a Luka, Ben Simmons, uh, Anthony Davis. Now it's kind of like who everybody like 6'8", bro. Like hold on, Steph, you uh, Clay Thompson, you hold on, Kyrie, um, you don't have an answer for that. When everybody like 6'8" and up,
Right.
now you seeing real positions of basketball. So it's like, dang, like who's playing the one? And then you got between Draymond, LeBron, and Luka. You think somebody cares who's running the one? You gonna get the ball some kind of way. Just be open, be ready. Who's gonna score between Luka, KD, LeBron? You asking who's gonna score? Who cares? We're gonna
All
figure
of
something out.
us.
So it's just like I can see the game shifting
Boy.
more to there when you have more bigger guards and the bigs being more skilled. And it's like, what position do you play? Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I play basketball. That's my position. Like that's it. So right now we still have positions. We can get to a point where it is more positionless. But as of 2022, we still have position and roles. We still have these titles for a reason. And so you might get to a point where you roll out and it's like everybody on the court is 6'6" and up. And it's like, dang, what position do you play? How come all them guys doing the same thing? Well, he can shoot a little bit better, but it's minute differences in skill between all the guys. But it's like the quote for the Kevin Durant's, Giannis's, DeMarcus Cousins, Joel Embiid, and it's like, oof, that's tough. Um, I don't know how we're going to defend that, coach, but I see the game possibly getting there. That's possibly, but you're still going to have little guards like a Chris Paul in the game, a Steph Curry, a Dames, because genetics wise, you're not finna count out the 6'4" and under guys. Like that's just not going to happen. So
Nah.
unless the NBA and basketball just like if you're not 6'6", we're not counting you anymore. I don't see the game being fully positionless because at the end of the day, height will trump all this stuff. But if I'm more skilled than you, I still have an opportunity. So
Facts.
it's it's you can't just sit here and say positionless basketball because if I'm 6 foot, Chris Paul's not backing down on Giannis. I don't care what basketball you're playing. That's not happening. So the game's not going to be positionless and without roles and without these boundaries because so many limitations are going to keep those things in line for a reason. So you might have a team that's able to be positionless. You might have a lineup to be positionless, but you're not going to see the game of basketball be positionless because genetics will not allow that to happen. Skill wise, don't be fully able to happen because as great as Giannis is, nobody's calling him a guard. We all know him as a big or a wing at best. So it's cute. It sounds fun to be positionless basketball, but come on, man. Like really break down the game and look at players that we have in the league right now. We're never calling Chris Paul a point. I mean, we're not never calling Chris Paul a big. Nobody's confused him for being a wing, point guard, and that's it. And so until we start
Talk.
calling guards bigs too, stop calling basketball positionless. It's because the bigs got more skill and the guards got a little bit bigger. Luka is a guard that's a little bit bigger. LeBron's basically a point guard that's a little bit bigger, but we still have Chris Paul, AI, JJ Redick. We still have Dame. We still have Ja. Like these guys are under 6'4". So the game's not positionless, and I don't think it will be positionless for at least another 5 years. That's minimum. So right now, we still have these roles and positions in basketball. So I just get tired of hearing that on TV, man. But don't kill me, bro. But y'all gotta look at the game a little bit closer, man. So it's not positionless.
I feel it, bro. Like you definitely got a point. You definitely got a point. And like you said, genetics wise, we'll just never see a whole team full of guys 6'6", 6'7", 6'8" plus. You know, and like it's as good as that sound, you might have a tall lineup. I feel like teams try to have a tall lineup, and everybody might be 6'6" plus, but
Mm-hmm.
you're not playing them the whole game. You'd probably get
Yep.
ran out the gym if you did, because that's still like as nice as it does sound to have all those guys. You still got to play this other end of the flow. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And Chris Paul probably would love to have Kevin Durant or Michael Porter Jr. in front of him. He's finna dance, 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 blow by him. And you probably have another tall guy in here. Guess what? I'm finna dish this off and make a great pass. Somebody wide open in the corner because I play
Yep.
point guard. So, but I ain't gonna lie though, as a player, it would be cool for people to come on to me and be like, "Hey, you play basketball?" I'm like, "Yeah." What position you play? Basketball. Yeah, but what position? I just play basketball, bro. I'm out there.
Yep.
But you a power forward, center, small forward? Like, no, I just be out there, bro. Like, we all just play. There's five of us out there.
Yep.
So none of y'all got positions? Nah, we just play. We just
No.
go out there, one ball, five players.
Yep.
we just go, man. Just run.
Like every game
But
we just
that would
alternate who get jump ball. We just have fun with that, man. Like it's yeah, nothing
have a
crazy.
good time. Anybody can run the play. Anybody can bring the ball to the
Yep.
floor. If you get the rebound, push it, fill the lane.
Yep.
That would be cool, but
Oh yeah.
probably wouldn't be very successful. Not with us. But
Yeah.
nah, man, you definitely got solid points, man. I gotta agree with that, man. Like they do need to stop saying that. I heard a guy in a video the other day. I think it was a TikTok. He was like, he didn't classify players as like by their positions no more. He was like the same thing you had. He was like, why we classifying players like he was like positions is something created 100 years ago to define roles. Like now anybody can have that role. And he was like, you either if you're a facilitator, I'm gonna call you a facilitator. If you're a scorer, I'm gonna call you a scorer. If you're a big, I'm gonna call you a big. And I'm like, I mean that's cool, but the positions are still there. Like people of those caliber players still play those positions. Like Jokic is the only center you might call a point guard. The
Mm-hmm.
only one. He's one of them unicorns. Like so, let's not act like anybody can do anything. Like there's nobody 7 foot or bigger that's just a point guard other than him. Sure, as much as we talk about KD being a 7 foot guard, nobody put KD at point because that take him out his element. It's like he
Mm-hmm.
a scorer. He got to be on this wing. So if you got this man at the top of the key running the offense, he's not giving you the buckets he's supposed to give you. So he's not a point
Yeah.
guard. So it's just one of the things, man. Like I didn't think that was right at all when he said that. It was like the positions was created 100 years ago, this and this and this. I'm like, did you ever play basketball, bro? Have you ever played basketball? Because I guarantee you want your big to be a big and your guard to be a guard. Because me personally, I ain't gonna lie to you, and my teammates know this too. Because I be telling them, I need a solid point guard. Like need it. Like I've been on teams where we had two, like the 1 point we had two different point guards, and one was a facilitator, and one was more of a scoring guard. Guess which one I like playing with more? So you if you never played the game, you might not understand. But me being a
Yeah.
big, I play 4-5, more five than anything. I need that guard. And my
Mm-hmm.
guard came out here and he was like trying to score more than pass and trying to post up smaller guards all the time. I be looking at him like, bro, what are you doing? You're
Yeah.
taking me out my element. So I need them positions at the end of the day. So I'm with you, bro.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah. Like the only other thing, he is somewhat right by saying that positions were created 100 years ago. And I remember, I think it might have been Kevin Durant. I love hearing Kevin Durant talk basketball. I think it was him. He was saying how, sometimes they're a little outdated when you talk about the game to an extent. And it's like these, the titles of what the players are given, the positions are given to help the basically non-hoopers have a better understanding of the game. You feel me? So it's like, well, he's a point guard, he's a shooting guard, small forward, whatever. And back in the day, probably until the 80s, those lines were not blurred. It was always traditionally a point guard did this, shooting guard did this, small forward did this. Until Magic Johnson came in, those lines weren't really blurred too much. Now it's
Mm.
like, why is he 6'9" playing point guard? Larry Bird, well, he's 6'8", 6'9". He kind of facilitated like a point guard too. But Magic was a point guard, but he's an outlier generational talent that cannot be compared. Larry Bird too. We've been trying to replicate Larry Bird for longer. Oh, he a white boy. He can shoot. Larry Bird. Stop it, bro. There's no Larry Bird. Stop it. It's Larry, and that's it. So, but the positions were defined so long ago to help the novice and the beginners have a beginning understanding of the game of basketball. But those maybe those titles are outdated, and like I said, we should probably come up with new ones. But at the end of the day, we're not playing positionless basketball. We are not seeing a 6 foot guard come down the floor and start posting anybody and everybody up. Tony Parker was going to hit a spin move and floater and teardrop around these bigs. He's not posting anybody up. I don't care what basketball you're watching. You're not seeing that. You weren't going to see that from him. You weren't seeing Steve Nash go down and drop step somebody like he's Shaq. No, you're not. You're not going to see a 6'2" guard come down the floor and try to play like Shaquille O'Neal and try to dominate in the post. We will laugh his butt off the court and send him home packing because that does not make sense. So stop saying positionless basketball. All we're seeing is the bigs have a more defined, a more expanded role because the skill has enhanced for bigs. That's all it is, to be honest with you. And the wings have gotten more advanced. You're not seeing John Morant, Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, Trey Young come down the floor and start posting people up like a big. Until we start seeing that happen on a regular, then we could begin the conversation of having positionless basketball. But you're not going to see that because you're not going to see 6 foot posting up 7 foot. Doesn't make sense. So that just bothers me, man, to keep hearing positionless basketball. I'm like, bro, we're not seeing that at all.
Man, I'm with you, bro. Like you made a solid argument today. What? The people gotta listen.
Yeah,
But
we did our things today for this week for this episode, man. Like I couldn't come against you with your KD point, and you couldn't come against me with my positionless basketball point. Or maybe we just kind of agree on this. I don't know, man. Maybe we had a compelling argument so well that we just couldn't find a rebuttal. But I would love to hear some comments below to give me a rebuttal to say why the game is positionless. And if you want to be wrong, that's fine. It don't bother me. But if you want to be wrong, drop it in the comments.
if you want to be wrong,
But no, man, I am interested to see what other people have to say about it, man. So drop it in the comments below and let me know what you think, man. If you feel like the game does have just a big open field of just basketball players, because that sound good in theory. At the end of the day, when you hit the open gym, you're not looking for the 6'10" guy to come down and start playing point guard. You're gonna have to be super special for you to be doing that. The 5'10" guy, more than likely, you ain't looking for him to post up nobody. So please, if you start seeing that both of them happen on a regular, film that, send it to me, and I'll shut up. I'll come back, have a whole episode about how I was wrong. I do not mind doing that. But I'm 5'10". I'm not posting you up, Nelson. I'm not. You can give me Hakeem Olajuwon himself to skill me on some post game work, and I will never use that against you in my life. You will see me go as deep in the bag as I can, try to be Kyrie and break your ankle before you see me post you up. And Kyrie not my game either. So until we start seeing 6'10" break down and be guards, and you see 5'10" build up and be bigs, the game's not positionless. So that's my closing arguments for why the game's not positionless. I rest my case.
Man, well, y'all heard it here first, man. No such thing as positionless basketball, man. So y'all let us know in the comments what you think. If you agree with me and you believe that there's no such thing as positionless basketball, not just yet at least, be sure to leave that down in the comments. And if you think there is, if you think basketball is somewhat positionless now, let us know that too. But B said, if you want to be wrong, you can do that. I ain't say that, he said that. But y'all let us know how y'all feel in the comments, man. But we appreciate y'all checking us out again, man, for another Don't Kill Me But segment. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it, man. Be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to follow B on all social media at BeBall Jones. And then be sure to follow me. Yeah, you see it at BeBall Jones, BeBall Jones on all social. And be sure to follow me on all my socials. They are down at the bottom of the screen. But once again, man, we appreciate y'all for listening. Be sure to tune in for the next episode. It could be another debate. It could be an interview. Or it could just be some good basketball talk where we spit some game, man. So y'all just got to tune in to find out. But without further ado, man, we out.